be your chance to get back into the game. So they need to bring a lot into this one.
Yeah, luckily it's not the other way around where they've just lost their pick and they're going into a map that they don't particularly want to be going into. But yeah, much better sort of start from them. Want to see them get this pistol as well. And already a little bit of utility for Imi. He's going to get a P250 as well alongside it.
I want to see the 4-door and Imi main. I want to see the Henry G Classic.
4-door
it's
saloon.
not. I don't know if they've... I'd like to see a fake of it, maybe. That'd be quite nice. That'd be interesting. So the bomb's over by B. We'll see where they go on this one. A little bit of boost towards middle. Smoke yet to be used. Imi's pretty far out by this point. Looking for the face in middle. Smooya last time was able to find 2 on the pistol. At least on the CT side on Inferno. Flash comes in. Falls off it. Information's been found and Cosmin can be played in. And look at this. It's such an important setup here. I think Barbar's the one being played in. It's basically the Forest, right? It's the NIP style. You put the one player to be played in by the back box over in Checkers. He gets all the kills. Freddy creates the crossfire. You have Cosmin there. It's a bit of a risk. It's a bit of a stack. But you can see what happens when it works well. It's down to 3v3 now. But middle's a little open. It's a little vulnerable. If they can maybe get around the back, if they can cause a little bit of an issue, this could fall apart for Epsilon.
Yeah, Maeve has had the same idea, though. He is going to be waiting around the corner. Cryptics will actually take down Smooya, who was above, so it still leaves the man on the site, and that's actually going to be the players in behind. So they could just leave now and go back, or try and go back, if Cryptics can be able to cross towards A, which he will. So now Freddy B, well, he has control of that B site. He can hold on to it all he wants, because the players are just going to look to try and hold him in now as the bomb rotates. Although they do have to be a little bit careful here, because if he manages to bring this down to a 1v1, you wouldn't bet against him.
No, and he's still relatively well set. He's, what, 76 HP? He's not looking too shabby at this point. Mighty Max isn't playing close either. He's waiting till the bomb's planted, so I'm pretty sure I saw a kit on some of the Epsilon plays. I might be completely mistaken. I'm not sure if there is one available.
I think there was a kit and smoke.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's around. Freddy's not going to find it in the end or go for it.
Maeve? Yes, it was.
There it is. So this is back on now. Look at this play from Max. So that's very smart. Going to play the time, and Freddy considered it for a second, but he needs to hit a 180 clean shot if he even fancies a chance, and that's incredibly unlikely, but he has somehow got away. Cryptic's on the site, but the plant... Oh, it's for Highway. Freddy, if he lands this, one shot would have done it. Just looking for that pixel. Unable to find, but a valiant attempt. But in the end, we do see the star that Endpoint were desperate for.
That shouldn't have been that close. Yeah. That really shouldn't have been that close, but they win the round. That's the most important thing from them. Of course, CT side likely to invest pretty much everything back into this round and just try and force versus. But actually, yeah, a little bit of money saved. We're going to have Smooya just buying a Deagle. Maeve getting a Deagle alongside the HE. And, well, they have a good chance to actually do a lot of damage here. There's 1 rifle, 4 SMGs, and 3 of them are MAC-10s.
We'll see. I like the utility, at least, from Endpoint. Loads of mollies, clear out the corners. You can play it a little later now. No one's really... I guess no one's giving themselves up for free, right? There's always a tradable player there as well for Endpoint, so they're not going to allow a gun to go missing, or... Oh, maybe Freddy's going to do it. Pickles was right next to him. Doesn't stick around. He's going to try and fall in. They're going to quickly hit off the back of this now. Just pushing towards A, but there's already 3 players here from Epsilon. And Barbar, he can do damage. That's the first shot. Any more to follow would be a lovely little addition, but it's now down to the other players. He's so low. Maeve, though, gets overwhelmed. Charlie Pickles did find Barbar in the meantime, and bomb's going to be planted. It's going to be retake time for Epsilon, and any damage is a benefit here. Only 1 rifle invested, though, is another nice bit of silver lining for Endpoint.
Yeah, ultimately, the losses aren't a massive problem as long as they still hold on to the round. C2 is, of course, going to be pushing in. Cosmin goes down. The MAC-10 is gone. It's down to just Deagles instead. And you can just see the passive hold at the moment from the T side. They know they don't have to peek in this situation. Max will take one down, leaves it onto just Freddy, who may try and save, but Pickles will not allow it. The SMGs farm up, make some extra cash as well. And with 3 players surviving, it's not the end of the world.
Good discipline from them not to get, lackadaisical about it all and try and play out. Keep the guns up, keep the armor, keep that money building. Gonna see some nades, a little bit of a flashbang invested into, not too much from Epsilon. Maybe just gonna try and nade out somewhere, push off the back of the flash and catch a gun away or 2. This is the round that would hurt Epsilon if they lose out on any of these 3 rifles. Obviously Mighty Max, Cryptics and Pickles going on that one. Charlie looking for that opener towards middle. Nades come in though, and that's a good bit of damage. Look at these 2 of the riflers there. Taken a little lower than maybe wanted, but there's not much to follow it up. There's no upgraded pistols, but it's the other nades. Now it's Cosmin and Freddy B. If they get contact, that could be quite fun.
I like this sort of like staggered nades, like just waiting to try and spot the majority of the team. Playing a very passive hold towards that B side at the moment, so they can rotate very, very quickly if necessary. But it is going to be this A hit. Unfortunately, Barber's the one on the site. He only has a flashbang, so he could delay them a little bit, which could line up those HEs. I think I'm sort of trying to foresee a future that is very unlikely, but you got to hope sometimes.
There's one more nade. There we go. Cosmine connects. But it should be an 0-1. It should be quite comfortable from this point onwards. There shouldn't be too much more. They have no more nades left. They have nothing else to do damage apart from those USPs and the P2K on Smooya. So, bombs will be planted. They're chomping at the bit. You can see Freddy B wanting to get in the action, and so far, nice little shutdown from Imi and Mr. Pickles. Smooya, good ding. Oh, again, lovely shot, but nothing really coming from it, and he's feeling the pressure here. But if he can cause some of these rifles, that's great, but you can see the man trying to alleviate all that pressure is Jesp.
Yeah, don't give him any more pot shots, please. Only one more dink, and that would have taken possibly a couple of players down. So, in the end, they keep the majority standing. I think only one man dropped. That was actually based off those nades. So a little bit of damage done, but not really anything that's going to affect this T side, and they have made some decent cash early. Smooya is going to get the AWP, but based off the Deagle buy, he won't be able to get any armor behind it. So he's going to be very vulnerable to all of those nades, although there is only one HE in sight, which probably is the worst of them. And already, Pickles goes for the pre-fire. Unfortunately, Barber is better.
It's a great idea, though. It allows the mid-control just spraying into that, and now you've got the stack here towards Checkers. Freddy B, stunning shots from him. Jesp and Cryptix get absolutely banged out, as Cosmine's still able to play into it too. Does eventually get overwhelmed by Mighty Max, but by now, look where that bomb is. It's a disaster for the T side, and already see Mighty Max down to 11 HP, and the angle from Barbar. This is an absolute clinical shutdown. Imi trying to get something done here, but no, that is a lovely round from Epsilon. Very high tempo, lots of pressure towards middle, get the player up towards the vents, and ready for that B crunch.
Yeah, I think the T's should still have plenty of cash to buy back up, though. So it isn't the worst case. I think they had a UMP in there somewhere as well, so there's still the chance to reset the economy. Now, this could be the perfect start to them actually building a lot of rounds up on this T side if they can now do a lot of damage to the economy. Of course, Smooya didn't even have armor, so we had to buy that, a kit, utility as well. So he spent pretty much all of his cash. And on the other side, oh, all they've really got is a Galil over an AK. The rest of it's absolutely fine. Imi has that AWP, and as was said on the desk, he's yet to do too much as of yet. But Barber, not going to go for the aggressive push as of yet, just waiting for anybody to counter boost.
Well, Charlie Pickles is keeping an eye on it, but the problem is he's kind of left with two places to keep eyes on. One's middle, the normal, T-red, I guess, and then the boost. So while this happens, they're building up towards A. The timing could just be off. The problem is that Barbar could just peek over at the right time, and then Charlie Pickles walks back into it. That's the only issue. The bomb's still left back here, so
no.
Here we go. Let's see what the timing's like. Barbar does get a spot. Gonna fall off it as well. Doesn't overcommit, and I quite like that. Gonna try and support towards A, because already one player's fallen, and that's being Smooya. Goes down. Now, Endpoint don't hit instantly off the back of this, though.
Yeah, slowing things right down, waiting for rotations to come out from this CT side, but it is Barber. He's back on that AWP, looking to try and fight for that primary spot by the looks of things, as he's been doing work with it so far. It was Smooya as the catalyst on the site, the only man on A, and it has switched up. Peek out from Imi. He's actually got quite far here. Maeve is going to go down, and Imi seemingly starting strong, and now Barber's just getting sprayed through the boxes, trying his best to survive. Still takes one with him, but eventually gets traded out. Leaves it into a 2 versus 3. CT side already have a flank coming in.
Look at Freddy. This is still so possible. Just because of that work from Barbar, it's left it into a situation that could work. Freddy a little bit sloppier on the spray than expected, but a quick look back from Imi. A great molly, and Cosmine then strikes. This is great stuff from the CTs, but for now it's down to Charlie Pickles, who's been solid thus far, but crumbles under the pressure, as that was a lovely little retake coming out. But Barbar doing what he did, bought time, and look at him.
He's so chilled out.
Barbar, the thing is, he was one of those players that has had, almost broken into, not necessarily tier 1, but, constantly pushing to get closer and closer and closer, and then the lineups fall apart. He was part of that infamous team, I think, who had that ridiculous overtime game that went down not too long ago. I think that Matt and Henry were actually casting. It was part of that, the infamous Sadicus line of Barbar, which was, now attached to him forevermore. But the point is that he's an incredibly good player, but you see it in small doses every now and then, like that AWP work, him buying time, staying alive, finding one when they were pushing up towards quad where he had no HP. Brilliant stuff, and he's going to be picking up the AWP over Smooya for now. So Smooya maybe not feeling it yet, maybe just wanting to get into the action, and this could be awkward. If he gets outdone here, this will be frustrating, and I can imagine that will get him a little tilted. Charlie Pickles going to punish, and it's Barbar again to deal with the remainder. He could be in trouble here as well. Endpoint getting into a real tricky position for Epsilon to handle. Great work from Mighty Max to take the fight on Highway.
Yeah, now this actually comes back to a decent position. They picked up a little bit of utility. They have themselves rifles, although that Molotov from Freddy's perfect. Picks out the player in middle, and that's so important. That was the flank. That's gone. It's all based off the remaining players. And actually, look at the push coming out from Mighty Max. He's trying to find out information of players coming in from behind. They should now know exactly, or at least roughly, where the remaining players are going to be. Imi towards the back of the site only has a pistol, so he's more of the bait here. He gets one. That's more than enough for what he should be doing. The problem is the plant, and they can actually just fake this out, cause the push to come in, but it doesn't matter. Mighty Max doesn't use the rifle, doesn't need it. He's got the Tech 9.
And it all started with Smooya being caught out in middle. Bit of a awkward situation when 3 people face in middle over boost. You get a little flustered, doesn't handle it, and then at the end of the day, it was a nice initial shot from Barbar, but then instantly taken down. And look what that's done to the money on the CT side. They're going to have to just take it how it is right now. It's an upgraded pistol or two. Got the UMP on Freddy, but on the other side of things, Endpoint back in the action here. This is far more competitive. We knew that their T side was better. Let's bear in mind that's not too surprising. But here comes the stack out from Epsilon as well, putting players everywhere. Nice little underhand flash going out from Mighty Max, and now he can isolate and handle. Hopefully Smooya still alive through the fire and the flames and connects the shot towards Mighty Max. And looks for more, but look at they've already broken through towards middle. Freddy is in real trouble. That's the bomb, though.
He's actually managed to get the bomb. That is ridiculous. Picks up a rifle as well. As said, they didn't need him so much in the previous map. This time, see what he can do, but gets taken down by Jess. Retrieves the bomb, although actually, no, not close enough. Can't do anything about it. Into a decent position. Now they can actually hold for any sort of rotations coming in from behind. It's left the retake potential fairly low. But at the same time, we've already seen some pistol magic from both of these players in the previous map. However, it has to be said that Smooya got off to a much better start in the last, and that can make a big difference. He has, however, found one here.
That's a gun recover too, which is pretty important considering how poor the money's been for Epsilon. He needs to keep hold of this at this point. There's no two ways about it. Even though the T side, yeah, they're pretty weak themselves on money. It's not worth him losing out on this. So, again, smoke, rifle, decent for him. Decent damage done as well towards Imi, Mighty Max, and Cryptics, of course. But at the end of the day, it's around on the board for Endpoint, and that's the one thing they were missing in that first map. Simply enough, rounds on the board. So finally, they get off to a decent start here. 5-2 is going to look lovely in comparison to what happened on Inferno.
Well, even just when you look at sort of individually, they've already won like a very crucial clutch in terms of their economy. They had the round, well, that was based off pistols as well, where they've sort of snuck one through that could have actually been a problem in terms of their economy, and instead done a load of damage, and just based off confidence as well. When someone like Max wins a duel versus Cosmine, that's going to boost him, but you have to take into account as well, I feel like Epsilon are another team of just very emotional players, where you can sometimes see Cosmine just completely fall away from the map, or be the best person in the server. Same with Smooya as well, who is actually going to be the catalyst rifle in this round, has the one weapon to play with. We've already seen his aggression so far hasn't been going too well.
But why not? He was able to keep the rifle. Why not just, give it a little more to play with? You've been doing damage on the upgraded pistol. Still got a Deagle on Barbar, P250 as well, towards Maeve. So at this point, you've got to be a little careful, Endpoint, but you still have everything to play with. But look at Barbar pushing right on up here. This is great. If he can time it right. And Imi's not expecting it this close. The tag comes in, the swing comes out, but Imi will win that fight. Gets an AWP to hand now. Going to drop off that rifle as well. And boost towards middle. Where's Smooya at this point? He was playing towards Connector, going to go and bolster the numbers by B, and they're just going to split 2-2 and hope for the best.
Yeah, and it leaves the A side actually as far worse off at the moment. There's not really any weaponry on that side of the map. It leaves basically Smooya to hope that they go towards this B site, and they are at the moment. Only 45 seconds left on the clock as they look to try and push in. Now, once they spot this rifle, they have two options. Just try and isolate it or leave. I'm kind of hoping they just leave, but actually, Molotov going to be going in. Smooya, it doesn't matter. He gets nothing done. Maeve does better with the P250, but it's not really enough. Most of the players survive, 3 out of 5, and still money will be building now over on that T side.
And I guess the discussion point is the emotional players, right? You've got Smooya that when things go well, you can take the face off of anyone. But
last map.
But then if he's having a bad one, if he's having a slow game, the money's not been great for him. Still looking for the armor to supplement that AWP, but he's not had it yet. This could be problematic for him if he starts to fall under the weight of this one. Could be a bit awkward, but Endpoint really building through. Is this going to be the old first pro style hit? It looked like the smoke's coming out from all of them. This is lovely. It's the deep double smoke. So I guess it's almost the Astralis, right? If you want to look at how it kind of plans out. Deep smokes come in. Maeve, though, it could be the complete undoing of all this. He's heard it all. But how much damage can he do? The call's going to come in, they're going to play retake aside from this, but he has to give away the game. Imi comes back. The bomb now on site. He's looking for options. He takes away another. This is great stuff from him. The rest of Epsilon surely can play off the back of this. It's all been given to them.
Yeah, Mighty Max does get one, but it's all onto Pickles, and that play from Maeve made the round. That was pretty much it. The second he sees the smokes, he's just, okay, I'm the only man here. I've got to do something. He goes straight through. The thing that was a bit confusing is they don't actually try and turn back around. They just try and fight, which is understandable. But at the same time, with a man in behind, you're always going to lose another player. And if Maeve's getting 2 for absolutely nothing, that's not good enough.
Yeah. Nice stuff, though, from Endpoint. Got to say, you know, the very throwback Astralis hit towards A. They were one of the first teams to do that really deep smoke, the deep smokes towards Truck, that just give you a little bit more access to the side and still deny the AWPer. So it's really, really nice, actually. So I'm kind of impressed to see them go into this. It does show that this is far more their map. We didn't see this sort of creativity and approach on Inferno at all. Now, we do see Imi and Smooya again. Smooya looking to make difference over by B, having a little peek down. Was a player there. I think it's Jesper slowly playing it. He's not going to give away much. And aggression towards middle, Cosmine there going walkabouts.
Yeah, I like this setup. It's basically have a Catalyst up on either side, and then have the players just sort of fighting more for middle. And it just gives you so much more control when it comes to any sort of portion of the map that is attempted to be taken. Normally, those AWP should be getting that first pick, unless utility is used very well, which I do have to say, Endpoint have been very good with all the setups they've done so far. And utility-wise, things have been great. They've just been caught out by a few individual plays, some pushes as well. Still in the lead, though, at the moment, and still with a very good chance to actually reset Epsilon once again.
100%. Yeah, mate. Eyeing up opportunity. Oh, he sees the barrel of the gun. Takes a shot. Oh, the molly doesn't quite... I think he'll reach. Just in case there was a player there. There isn't. It's on highway.
Floating fire.
Gotta love it. Now, might be down to Barbo, who's been pretty consistent so far. Bearing in mind, they are looking like they want to crunch towards A. And it might be the same smokes and same hit coming through if they go for it. I'm curious. They might just try and let Imi do some work on his own.
Yeah, late smoke, though. Only 35 seconds left on the clock. You have to wonder whether or not they're just going to execute through it. By the looks of things, they are. So Barber going to be sat at the back. Molotov's going to clear him out of this site. Just going to have to fall all the way. Maeve even going to be pushed off. This is a lovely setup coming out, but they haven't found any kills as of yet. Barber will get himself first and second. He really is showing his stuff with this AWP. Freddy B is actually going to go down. Mighty Max has got another for himself, but Maeve, once again, he's fallen back into this A main spot, left it down to just Pickles, and Smooya cleans things up in the end. Big problem at the moment is just Maeve is too sneaky.
Again, though, Endpoint, it's a good approach, right? It's a really nice approach. They've got some nice strats. They've got, you know, the mollies over the site. They clear out the corners. But the points they're leaving open, you're seeing instantly Epsilon finding room to work. They're able to isolate the player over at Forklift. And by that point, it was a bit split, wasn't it? You had Imi kind of by the barrel spot, you know, the boost area. He was there on his own. There was 2 players by the site, one, I guess, with bomb in hand and one on top of red. And there's so many, you know, nooks and crannies that you saw the Epsilon exploit and get in towards. As soon as that man was behind, the spray down was lovely from Ape, obviously. But by this point, that's a little bit uncomfortable. That'll be frustrating for Endpoint, because you do the strategy right, but the individual play, the synergy, doesn't quite get there. And speaking of frustration, Smooya not landing shots as smoothly as I expected.
Yeah, definitely not looking like the same player from the previous map. Barber actually now going to catch the same... well, illness at the moment, missing all the shots, eventually catches one, and it is the bomb as well. But he goes down on the site. Cosmine sprays wildly. Epsilon not actually connecting at the moment. It's getting a little bit worrying. They're going for the bomb plant. Pickles is going to be happy with that. That's a load of bonus money. Only 1 player dropped in the end, and you feel like it could have been far worse. But Endpoint going on their own game at least. Already got the bomb plant. Already got all that extra cash. They're going to be happy with that one.
Yeah, no, out of the checklist of things that you expect from those rounds, or want, you know, the bomb plant is pretty near to the top. You know, you don't expect to win the Deagle by with no armor, and, you know, just hope that somehow, you know, Freddy isn't doing much. Barbar's missing shots. Smooya's not landing him over by B. It's a very quiet performance from him, and Barbar, as highlighted, really stepping up here. He had a great end to that first map. Clearly put on a nice, you know, very confident point. And again, let's see what they can do here.
Already though, Cosmine.
That's going to be
down.
frustrating.
That's straight through the smoke as well.
Yeah.
He's definitely not had the... well, not even the best of days, I would say. It wasn't really someone to highlight in the previous map. I think we were looking at the Smooya and Barbar show. More in tow with Barber, so they definitely have depth in this squad, and they may need it in this matchup at the moment. As said, the buyback in, thanks to that bomb plant. Imi going to be looking to clear these close angles. They know where Maeve is. Can't catch him as of yet, but he goes falling back into the hands of Imi, and already a 2-man advantage for this T side.
Epsilon, it feels like it's hard for them to find their, the right tempo. Do we go aggressive? Do we want to try and push up? Because Endpoint are playing quite a passive, slow, mid take late into the round sort of game. Imi's doing wonderfully at that. You've seen him a couple of times being quite successful at just challenging and being a nuisance. And the patience is certainly not a virtue with Epsilon right now, but this is going to be the A hit. 2 players already here, though. Freddy B and Barbar. Now, these two were a dastardly duo just last week, so do not underestimate them, but still 3 mollies left with the T side. Barbar's committed to such an aggressive angle.
Yeah, the core of the team looking to try and hold on, and the missed shot is going to give them the chance to cross, leaving it onto Freddy. Barbar does manage to catch one out, but this is going to be so difficult from here, and Imi, he's showing up in this round. Found himself a couple of picks, leaving Jasmuya. Realistically here, he should just try and save that AWP. 1 versus 4. It'd be nice for the highlight reel, but I don't see it happening.
Telly wants to prove a point. Looking for another victim, but they're not giving him anything, not an inch. And no mile to take. He's gone to sight, spots one at quad, and it's all but a bait. As soon as he takes that shot, surely... Oh, Smooya! Nope. He taps the bomb. It's down to a 1v1. Again he goes. Jesp, where are you? Jesp is holding his cool. He's holding his nerve, looking for the Smooya. Not yet seen him. Jesp makes a bit of noise. He makes a bit of sound, and Smooya's being toyed with here. Jesp is staying in control. The shot's brilliant, but the time is simply not enough. Smooya puts on a show, but the show comes to an end, and it's Endpoint again at the helm.
How does he get that many kills, though? That's still... that's a round where they've only just brought back in. They used the bomb plant for the extra money, so I want to see how much Cass is actually over on the Epsilon side. It's not great, but of course they're going to buy.
But this is the thing, right? This is what a lot of people will say. If you unleash Smooya, he can do disgracefully good things. Things that you don't often see that can be brilliant to watch, but it's hard to fit that into a regular game of play. He's been having a quiet game until then, but a fast B hit might be coming through here. And Barbar's the one to be on the side who's been far more consistent delivering, but touches the molly, and that can be a problem now. They're going to check for this, and he can't back away. They're committed. Barbar's caught in no man's... What? Why are they not...
How is he there? It's still not going to matter because Pickle steps up, but yeah, just left in the open somehow. He dodges some bullets for a little bit. Cosme will turn it into a 3 versus 3. Still a chance for a retake here. Smooya on the AWP. Maeve still has a UMP, but the B site can be close range, and they have a decent amount of utility to try and clear out a lot of these positions. Bomb going to be planted for Checkers. Smokes are going to go down to actually isolate a lot of these players, and Jesper's going to move in to just hold underneath. Perfect position, but goes down. Pickles on the site is the one looking to hold on, and Maeve, UMP, clearly it's not been nerfed enough as he picks up 3 kills.
Look, he saw Smooya do that last round. He was like, look, I'm going to show you how to do it and then win the round. So no, brilliant stuff on the retake. Good play coming out from them. But how the hell did Barbar stay alive there for enough time to even land 1 shot? These games sometimes...
It's so obvious a spot.
They don't expect it.
It wasn't obvious at all.
You're a genius. Have you ever thought about coaching, No, sorry, I got you confused with Moses. He pretends he still knows a couple of things or 2.
Just make it up as I go along.
That's the one. If you say with enough conviction, everyone believes you. 6-7 though, Endpoint still retaining the lead. This is a far better half, and this is staying true to Henry G's sort of 7-8 rounds. If we know, how their CT sides go, this should be pretty much it. But Barbar going walkabouts. This could be a little bit of an issue considering there's 2 players there waiting on a bit of a play-in off the back of it, bit of contact. He could lose that AWP.
Only pistols in play, so I don't know why they didn't just go to try and challenge that, and you let him fall back, and he's not going to miss the second shot.
Let's go 1 by 1. Let's go 1 by 1 and give him time.
We want to give him a chance.
Exactly. It's only fair, especially when Mighty Max is doing that.
He doesn't have the bomb. They're actually going to leave the bomb as Cryptic
don't need it.
Running back in.
You don't need armor, you don't need the bomb. UKCS.
I wish we could just have your arm movements just...
Don't encourage that.
So more you know, that sort of thing. Like the doo-doo-doo.
Sorry, what? Do-do-do. Sounds like my phone from the early 2000s when it turned on. Do-do-do. Yeah. Well,
I feel like
nice.
we went off track a little bit there. But
well,
yeah,
it was a very exciting
pistols.
round. There was a whole kill. It
Might
feels
Max
that,
held it up for a little bit.
He did. He had to go at it. And this time, Imi's taking it off him. He's like, no, I'm the AWP.
Pickles, no armor, AK.
Tell me there's
He
there's
can't
no
afford
money.
it. He
Tell me
can't
there's no
afford
money.
it. No, he can't. I'm certain.
Yes.
Certain. He can't afford it, but I still don't like it.
No. I'd rather him just deagle or something. Get a bit of armor, get a deagle on.
UMP?
UMP.
Maeve's shown how good it is. Blue's actually going to be coming out, and how is Maeve still winning that? Eventually, there will be the trade out
Who does
from
that
Imi.
one-way boost? No one likes you doing that. It was, it was fun and quirky when the couple of pro players did it like last year. Now it's just like, you're the people I play on matchmaking at 4 AM, aren't you? Well done. Barbar, though, still going to be playing over. I think he's playing kind of in between quad and MBK. You're going to commit towards quad for now. But he does have support very close by. Cosmine there. And it's Barbar to land the shot somehow. As Charlie Pickles does punish towards Cosmine. But we're down to 2 here.
Jeff's going to be peeking into the angle, and Barber is not going to be missing that. He hasn't missed much with the AWP today. And then Smooya with the crossfire. 8-7. Epsilon end up winning the half. Now we get to see Endpoint on the CT side. And if they are going to survive in this series, we've got to have everything crossed that it's better than what we saw in Inferno.
So the shot on quad I'm not all that impressed about, right? That's it's good. But it's the one onto site where you're just like, yeah, get absolutely wrecked. But yeah, just is the unsung hero of this, because let's be honest, we're all watching Smooya doing this crazy clutch that he shouldn't have had or got that close to, but just buys time, and that's all you had to do here, is just keep Smooya away from being able to do that full defuse. And again, these shots, they are world class. There's no taking that away from him. I hate to harp on about it, but this guy is a very young talent. If he's able to harness that and put it into a team perspective, and be kind of allowed to do those sort of plays more often than not when he's like, oh, last man alive, just go for it if you want to. If he can find a way to be able to create that room for himself, there's a lot you could see from this man. But again, this is still him learning in a good atmosphere, let's be honest. Epsilon are a very good team. They're very well respected. You've got Barbar there, Freddie B, some very well-known kind of figures, and hopefully he can come a long way in that. But on the other side of things, the main storyline here is, can Endpoint keep it together on the second half?
Yeah, can they steal that one map that they desire? That's what the tweet was about. Only one.
Yep, just one.
Just one. Don't want the 2. That's a little bit too much to ask for. So
they're humble people.
Yeah, of course. And if they can get that done, well, especially against a team like Epsilon, that'll be a big deal. Who are now starting to wreck face after they had the sort of problems in the first couple of weeks. So it was very surprising seeing the sort of Reason matchup where you were like, okay, this should probably be a 2-0, and then they end up actually just absolutely getting demolished on Cobblestone. They have now banned it, so to be fair,
it's just like, now we're not
they are
gonna do that
reacting.
again.
Maybe not in the best way, but should we get better? No, let's not play that one.
I guess you've got to work on your map pool, and there's no better time than now. Just test it out against teams here. Okay, you know your strengths. Let's say they've got their core 3 maybe maps that they're really happy to go to, and just work out what works for you, and then just build off the back of that. So for now, we're waiting for that second half, and I don't know what to say when it comes to Endpoint. They're a team that we've seen moments. We've seen Charlie Pickles. He's a storyline amongst himself. He does deliver on a relatively regular basis. He's a very good player. It's just it doesn't necessarily always win them rounds, right? He'll get the 2 kills and then it fizzles out to nothing. He's trying. He holds his own, but he needs everyone else to step up too. Imi has moments where he's this god-tier player, picking up great picks towards middle, opening up opportunities. It's just you need that kind of follow-up push. And Endpoint CT side so far have left a lot to be desired. This has to stop now. This is a map that they're meant to be good at. This is meant to be not necessarily maybe their most comfortable map, but whatever it is, this has to be better than Inferno. So we'll see. They've got a buffer.
It already is much better than Inferno, but at the same time, I do agree. They've got a lot to sort of work on. I'm hoping that Imi in this map at least will have much more impact with the AWP, because they were really focusing on it, but it didn't really do too much. Either way, T side, Maeve with the utility, no surprise there. Smoking a kit, almost the exact same sort of buy we saw on the previous half. However, this is going to be pushing in towards the A site, and it's not a retake. We see a lot of retake scenarios on this A site. We've got Pickles deep in quad.
I actually like this hit from Epsilon, though. Gets him on the site, makes a plant quite likely. That's beautiful work, though, from Charlie Pickles, plucking the heads off of 2 players and looks for a third. Maybe they're still staying alive somehow, as Smooya's been allowed to sneak his way towards site, but the bomb's yet to cross, and everyone here from Endpoint is in the right place at the right time as Barbar tries to play the timing, finds an angle, but Mighty Max strikes. It's Smooya gone, and it's down to 2 now.
Yeah, there should be no way Barber gets out of this alive. He was completely surrounded. The bombs actually started to go back towards middle. They still have time to play with, hoping that Barber can sort of open something up, because Maeve doesn't actually have any armor And all that utility that they had previously is gone. So it's all just going to come down to basically if Endpoint makes some massive mistakes. And while peeking in, there's still a couple of low players, like 18 HP between Imi and Jesp, and that's because, well, Jesp only has 1. So a couple of mistakes here, and this round really could just turn back. Barbar looking for the peak. Cryptic's one of the higher HP players, but he gets taken down. Now it's all onto Made. Big chance to actually get a bomb down here if he can just go running onto the site. Nobody there to stop him. Cryptic's missing the shots on the cross. Actually going to bait him in, and, well, Cryptic's takes his head off. Not going to miss that one, and thankfully so.
I got a little nervous.
Yes,
there were moments I was like, okay, that could have gone a lot worse. But it was kept relatively together in the end. It almost like they could get out on A, but then Charlie Pickles locked it out from quad. Beautiful work from him, those 2 kills. Quick succession, not allowing them close. Smooth being found. Perfect. Now buying back into this though. Epsilon going to get the Deagles up. P250s on the other side. UMPs. And, oh, no M4 to be seen. Oh, hello, Freddy. That's a shot and a half. Imi gets absolutely ruined.
Oh, that has to hurt. Just the pre-fire through the smoke. Barber now going to take full control of middle as well. They've fallen into the more sort of static 2-2 split. And this gives so much room to play with. But they are at least taking control on other portions of the map as well. They've got A main, which was so important when we saw Epsilon on their CT side. Only leaving 1 man towards the site, though, so there's still a chance that they could actually just isolate this one person and actually get themselves a bomb down. Pushing into Z as well. But it seems like the CTs are very aware of all these potential pushes.
Yeah, they're not being called off here. It's just that potential of that 1D coming in, right? It's always there. There's one of them, Smooya. Maeve, it's a little awkward now. Bomb screen planted, it's a 2v2. Now, they don't have much utility. No nade, no molly to lob down. So it does allow a bomb plant to come through. Smooya's only 8 HP, so that should be fine. But there's still a threat here. There's still an issue with those Deagles.
Not like this. Not like this. Push going to be coming back in. Pickles spots out 1. Only needs 1 bullet connected. It's on to Maeve, just trying to dance, buy himself some time, but he's going to get overwhelmed. The Deagle runs out of bullets. Not really the best weapon to have at close range anyway, because you can't really spam. And it is going to be at least that follow-up round. But again, a bomb plant. So the T's are going to have some extra money, hopefully going into their buy round. I don't really want to see them force again, but they're going to be feeling confident. They have been pretty much all the way through the game. It would be very risky. And they're just going to go for a similar sort of buy, get some Deagles in. It does mean unless Maeve drops one, we're not going to have an AWP going into their first buy. Although he may do, because he's full ecoed, so...
See.
Not again. He's close.
I almost felt that happening. I was like, no, not like this. Oh, Smooth's found 1. This is where it gets costly because the real rifles are up. This is where you don't want to be losing out on players at all.
Enemy's already tagged down to just 33 HP, so he can't really take too much of a fight in middle anymore. Those Deagles, the bullet to the chest will do enough. Cosmine absolutely destroyed though, and they are playing these longer range angles with the rifles now. Again, just falling back to the sites, not allowing these pistols to take too much control. Barber, every time his crosshair goes anywhere near anyone, I'm expecting their head to explode. And, well, I think he does as well.
We've got the 2-2 now. It's just, you know, pick your poison. Try and find whichever site you feel better on, what you have more step to. Barbar being in towards vents is always nice, but you've got the early warning system of the other side of the vent and then contact towards Max on the other side. Does look like they are getting ready for that B hit, though. Still have Freddy B towards middle. That's going to spot a fair bit of this out. Barbar needs to land something big here. Not going to happen just yet. And yeah, this is lovely from Max. Keeping it well under control against unarmored opponents, of course. So nothing too thrilling, but a nice performance from him just to not lose out on too much, not to give away utility. Nothing really given for free. Freddy being forced off and now position noted.
Yeah, that round a necessity from Mighty Max. Making sure they build up their economy. They keep the lead as well, which is very important after you win the pistol, that you don't just sort of throw away one of these rounds. But, as said, that extra bomb plant, AWP is going to be dropped over as well, so it is nigh on a full buy coming in for Epsilon. And, yeah, CT side doing all right as well. They still have the FAMAS in play, but I don't think that should be too much of a hindrance. They don't have that much spare money, though, so going into the next round, if they do lose this one, it's going to have to be a risky force.
Yep. Are we going to see a boost here, or are we just going to see a pick? Yeah, we are going to have a boost. Maeve ever makes it. Oh, God.
What?
Oh.
We switch.
Made it there eventually. If you get the boost right, you can see over towards the white box in middle very, very clearly. If you can do it quick enough, you can't really catch him crossing, but you can get anyone who tries to wide peek out on it. And look at Freddy, how has he allowed this close? Good trade from Jess, but you've got to be frustrated with that one. Now limited information, have they got through towards site? Where have they made it at this point? So you can see a response already going to pull over Imi. Jeff's feet showing a little on the vent there, bit of a spray comes in, and they're going to play into it. They're going to try and find the info. Don't see anyone yet. Look at Cosmine as well. He's very, very viable to go for something here, but that one push from Charlie Pickles could be the downfall of all of this.
Especially because the bomb's going alone. That could be just the be-all and end-all of this round. Smooya is going to be checking the angle, rounding the corner, flash in from a teammate. Sprays a bit wild, but it doesn't matter. Eventually, Cosmine will trade one back. Gets a second as well. He's made things interesting, and the rotation's all coming in from CT. It means the bomb is going to be planted. Maeve goes aggressive. Now Molotov's out. Smoke will fall as well, and they can get the plant.
This is going to make it hard for the retake. Cosmine is low, definitely, but one kit. Gonna pop Imi on over. A little bit of a quicker route here. Oh, Christ. What is wrong with the UK in trying to boost players? Wow. I guess it's not the UK. It was, Smooya was on wanting a boost. But anyway, it is retake again. Time to go back into this. But limited time now available. But Epsilon not really given much to work with. Just up highway. Still have Maeve over by truck. So that's a big win here. That's the big point for them. As Cosmine going to find Jess, and it leaves Imi all on his lonesome. Near on impossible, and it is. Nice turn of events in the end for Maeve then to come through with that, considering that with Smooya dying in towards A main with the bomb then, that perfect flash timing. Whoever set up Charlie Pickles then, brilliant stuff.
Yeah, the other thing is, though, you can't really account for someone like Cosmine. Just steps up, gets himself 2 entry kills onto the site, takes down the player in main as well, and retrieves the bomb just in time to sort of give them a chance in the round. And that's what we were talking about sort of before this game. It's like, individually, we know that Epsilon have the players that at any moment could just steal away around. And it's got to be painful for Endpoint, and economy-wise, it definitely is. They're actually going to save here. I know they have a little bit of extra money left in the bank, so this is basically just waiting for the next round. And Triple Man Z connector.
We know that Barbar likes to play mid late. He'll work his way out towards white box. He'll fight towards A. I don't mind it. If you can get a rifle out of it, perfect. But you may be feeling there's a trap here. You can see the hesitation, the caution. And Barbar's really having a performance so far this weekend. He's the one who's been a bit of a headliner for me. So you wait to see if anyone's going to come out of connector. And there are 3 players there. He has no idea of that, obviously, but this will certainly help the A hit as it comes in. Smoke goes up. Molly's going. Cosmine again towards Mighty Max, but Cosmine's the only one really out so far. There's no other support here. They're still in by main. There's 4 plays from the CT side here. This could get a little problematic, but the spray's a little wild as well. Down to the pistol. Still deals with it well, but oh, this is lovely stuff. Finally handles it. Cryptic still trying to do work, but outnumbered, outgunned, and outdone.
I love that from Epsilon as well. They just go, okay, you go in. If you die, then we'll leave. And if not,
we might.
Well, then you've already won it for us, so it doesn't matter. So it just, like, obviously it's a risk of a rifle, but Cosmine seemed to be pretty comfortable no matter what anyway. Probably could have thrown the rifle away. He was doing just fine with the Glock. As said, though, this is pretty much just that save-up round to get a buy in this one. Still skimping a little bit. There's a UMP in play and utility missing on Cryptics, but they managed to spend all that extra cash on an AWP for Imi, who on the T side was doing very well, but we're yet to see a CT performance from him today.
Where is he right now? I don't think he's one of the B players, so I think he's in towards connector, maybe boosting above the smoke. Not too sure. No matter what, it will be probably down to Jesp and Cryptics to deal with that B hit coming through if it does eventually form. It does look so likely as they do already have Maeve out towards the vent. So 3 players here. They're not being too subtle about this Epsilon. They kind of want them to see it, it seems.
They've done a nice amount of early damage with the nades, but it's a quick trade onto the site. Flashbang again is absolutely perfect. Jesp allowed to get a freebie kill, but Smooya's quick to trade. From above, they have to be careful. Mighty Max manages to sneak a kill back, giving them an advantage over to the CT side. Now they're just going to wait for this retake. That's perfect for them. Just try and play off that man advantage, use the trades as well.
Epsilon are desperate for one player to show and then be able to find the kill, but Maeve doesn't expect the Pickles working around the back, and it's Smooya in the 1v3. Bomb is planted. He knows where one is, but now he needs to work out the rest. Charlie Pickles lays down the fire, and it just grabs his attention as Mighty Max pushes way up, and the defuse will come through.
Yeah, no heroics this time. This time the bomb's actually on his side as well, so if anything, it was ready and set. I think you were almost building up to it, like, oh, I know it's coming, it's coming. Oh, that's a shame. But yeah, Endpoint, good retake. Don't lose any more players to Smooya. They keep 3 people alive with that sort of force buy that they had.
Yep.
And now, well, there's 3 guns on the floor, I assume. I'm waiting to see what they are. I imagine one of them is going to be an AWP. And yeah, full buy coming in for Epsilon as well. So another crunch time round in terms of economy. Could be the difference for who actually takes the lead here for a moment or two. As said, both teams really on the brink with the amount of money they have.
I like the versatility from Charlie Pickles. Pushed up towards Forklift this time. He's been playing through on quad. He's been playing MBK. Bit of an A all-star. Uncomfortable though. Smooya's seeming to already not predict this, but keep it in mind. And now he's pinned in a bit of a predicament. Tries to play out of it early, but there's a player up towards the catwalk too. The molly comes in. Be able to stay away from this, but he's just in one of those spots here that makes it a little bit uncomfortable. But Cosmine's playing well. He's allowing him out of this. That is brilliant from Cosmine. Plays off it well. Now Mighty Max, again, he's the one forced to make a move back here if they want to retain dominance, but oh, that's just awkward, isn't it?
Yeah, Cosmine just able to hide in the corner, and that's every single man over towards this A side of the map down. Now saving here could actually make a big difference, because they had 3 players alive in the previous round. Obviously they still had to invest a fair bit into this one. If they keep these 2 guns, there's at least a chance that the force buy wouldn't be anything too shabby. The problem is, T-side haven't even got the bomb down yet. They're already hunting. They're looking for these remaining kills. Quite risky, in fact. It's going to go back to a 2 versus 3. The round looking set in stone, but maybe there's a chance.
Maybe. It needs to be a quick kill here. Cosmine allowing that potential to happen. Starts just playing the time a little, just toying with them. Doesn't fully catch the flash and makes it away. Lovely little bit of movement and sets up his teammate well. And yeah, this is Jess, but you'd argue should just be looking to save at this point. Almost no chance to play into it. But trying to bait a gun away or 2, try and make it costly.
Yeah, remaining players looking to just exit on the other side. Even going to have a nade thrown towards him at the end, but now with the fallback, he has to be very careful because Smooya's waiting. No gun for Endpoint going into the next. And the patience working out. Was getting a little bit worried though, because they did almost start looking for the frags before they even got the bomb down, which at least they realized and fell back in the end. So there's going to be 11-11. As said, it was an economy crunch round, and if they had maybe the extra couple of rifles, we could have seen something here from Endpoint, but no saved weapons means that we're just going to see a flat eco, and Epsilon should be taking the lead here.
This could be a mid-take coming through from Epsilon. You can see the flash is already in. Players over by Boost. Just decisive, quick. Freddy going to be spraying in towards those B push-up players. No one really receiving much of the, I guess, sticky end of the rifle at this point, as they do make it away completely scot-free. Showing a little bit of presence, falling off it, but in the meantime, you've got Cosmine having a little walk through middle.
Yeah, he's woken up a little bit in the last few rounds. Another player. Well, I feel like it's with every player, but can be very scary, although a little bit of sleep. Maybe 4-3 there, because doesn't spot the player behind him. That's a free rifle for Mighty Max to play with. Has to go for 1 taps, of course, because he doesn't have any armor behind it. A minute left on the clock. Freddy B will now find an opener over towards that B site, however, and they're just going to push off the basis of that. Leave it down to 2 players here. A little bit of a crossfire from above, and the AK is here. However, it doesn't last very long. Pickles somehow still alive on the site, but should be overwhelmed in a matter of seconds. And Cryptics get a kill, run away. That's the aim.
Not to be met. 4 alive is good, though, for Epsilon. It builds their money in the right direction, which they're going to need. They want to stabilize themselves. It has been a very back-and-forth game so far. Of course, will always hinder the CT side far more when it's that sort of case, but even for them, get the money up, get another AWP into play, hopefully, for them. Not a big game from that man on the screen just yet. We're seeing a little bit of, Cosmine coming in, who was very quiet last week. He didn't have a big point. He was fine. No taking away, but he was the guy at the forefront. Quick B pressure this time between Maeve and Smooya. No one really wanting to fight this early. I think on the other side, it's just going to be Cryptics probably just trying to play it relatively safe. He does have Jesp there in towards middle, who can quickly play through those vents if required. But the bomb's not here. That'll be down to the likes of Imi to control, even though they are putting down a lot of work. They're throwing a bit of a fake here. Good work from Cryptix. A quick shot from Smooya, though, going to keep this one in check. And Epsilon have actually won out almost on B, but it's Imi who can stop all of this.
Yeah, the fake, it doesn't matter. Goes for the no-scope. Cosmeme will finish off Imi, and Mighty Max is just sort of left in no man's land. Bang in the middle. Players coming in from both angles. Does manage to finish off Smooya release, so that's an AWP dropped, which is not going to be retrieved. So that's something at least, making it a little bit more costly, but it's coming down to the end of the game where those sort of small victories don't matter as much anymore, especially with the amount of money we've already seen Epsilon build back up. The other thing there as well is Freddie B, I think, goes for a solo push in middle and wins both duels. So we didn't see it, but that, again, you sort of think, okay, we know this guy's crazy talented, but please make it only be one so that you have a chance.
Well, the problem is it looked like they won on every single front. You had that B push pretty much working out. Apart from the first player who went down, the trade was there perfectly for Smooya, so he was fine. He won that. He drew players over. You had middle being one, and then it was down to Imi. It's like if Imi doesn't do something crazy and find, 2-3 players, you're kind of done for, which is almost, it's too much to ask. You can maybe expect him to get one, maybe two, but in that sort of spot, you've got to always expect to be traded out eventually. You can't keep backing away from it. So timeout comes in. I'm hoping it's from Endpoint just to get themselves back in the game mentally, just to readjust, refocus, and try and find an answer to what's been going wrong as of late. Because they had a control on this game at the start, but it seems to have spiraled a little bit here.
Yeah, the other thing as well is they don't really have that economy battle to go either way anymore. They've started to string rounds together on Epsilon. It seems like multiple different players have started to step up. Now, it is a tactical timeout, so we are going to have a little bit of a talk. And, of course, been told that the coach has piles and piles of notes to go to, so maybe this can be where they step up. The problem is a lot of the time that's more helpful on the T side. So them on their CT side having all these strats, unless they're going to throw out some aggression, which we've only really seen them do in pistol rounds. And maybe try and go for an aggressive B push. Take the fight to somebody, because that's the one thing that you do have to say is Freddie B, when he just lurks around that B site, he's getting so much control. He's up towards vents within the first 20 seconds of the round, which very easy to counter if you can kill him, which is not so easy to do.
I honestly would love some CT-sided aggression. The problem is, as said, their money's so weak. They can lightly invest into this, down to, you don't even want to buy that much. A couple of upgraded pistols, maybe a flash or two, but it's still going to leave you slightly worse for wear, even in the buy round coming in. And on the other side, of course, Epsilon sitting pretty nicely now. Stack towards middle again. We saw them going for this before. Smooth could be on the receiving end. It was Barbar kind of, considering it last time. As soon as he spotted that player on towards White Box, he played off it well. But you can see this is the whole plan. Smooth's going to be completely blind. Wave always goes down. And this is very problematic. Nice piece from Endpoint here. It's all a bit of a set plan to make the money.
Epsilon, in the meantime, just ran all the way through B. Bomb going to be able to rotate in. Pickle's actually in a very strong position here. If he can duck back in through the vents, Imi's got to be careful. Barber coming around from behind. Leaves Pickles. If there was any time to have a heroic play, this would be it. Get them back into this one. They've dropped 3 players already with a pistol strat, so that's a decent amount of damage, but it doesn't matter. Barber still going strong. Still came a little bit close. I do like how they reacted, though. They went, okay, we know there's this many players in middle, and just ran straight through B, took the control, and then basically set up for the plant. Smart stuff from Epsilon. But I do like the setup coming out from the CT side as well.
Yeah, no. The difference of a good flash and, good bit of timing can make towards middle as soon as they got contact, flash out on it. Brilliant. It got 2 rifles away from Epsilon, and that could have been a difference maker here. Now they've got double AWPs up on Endpoint. This is their big stand. This is their big go-to. They actually looked a little bit more lively when it was Inferno. Maybe you can see the response here coming out from Epsilon. Just a quick, fast A hit. Outdo the AWPs. Get past them. Don't allow them to get into the game. And an uncharacteristic miss there from Imi, but Mighty Max picks up the pieces, finding Freddie B. The flashes come out, and they're just going to go for this. Bomb to be planted soon enough, I can imagine. And there it is. Retake time, but Smooth with the angle going to deny Jesp, and it's 3 players trying to play back into this.
Cryptix actually picking up the AWP for the retake. Interested to see what he can do here. Obviously needs to find a pick along the way. Imi getting very close. Maybe able to spot someone out. It's fairly passive. Shot goes through. Missed. But doesn't matter in the end. He goes down. Down to just Mighty Max. He's already got himself 3, but it's not going to be enough. Maeve finishes 15-11. And that was the big buy. That was the big investment. Now they've got to go with scraps.
Yeah, that was their big go-to. And you could see when the timeout comes in like that, and we saw the double AWPs before in Inferno, it seems like something that Endpoint like to go to as a response to, we're down, we're not feeling so good about this. We've got the money for it. Let's go for it. And you could see instantly Epsilon read that. They were aware. They went for that quick A hit, overwhelm them, don't allow them to get picked apart. It's just a nice answer. It's nothing flashy. It's nothing new. It's not going to change the world. But it's certainly got them the round. So a weaker buy now comes in for Endpoint, so they need to make this count. And already Cosmine going to take off heads. Charlie Pickles, if anything, he's been an impact player for this side. And now it's all falling apart. Epsilon taking this round by the reins and just dragging it through. And I think Endpoint have reached their end here.
Yeah, one man left. Jesp 1v4. Have to be very impressive. Barb already knows where he is. The bomb's rotating just as a sort of safety measure in case somehow he manages to take down the remaining players. They're just holding him in here. Simple stuff. Epsilon win it out over on the T side. Can't say I'm overly surprised. It's a little bit disappointing that after an okay start, everything just seemed to fall apart. Once the money got rolling as well for the T side, it didn't really look like anything was stopping them, and sort of a resurgence from Cosmine as well. He really was a massively impactful player on that second map.
Yeah, and we haven't seen that side of Cosmine in a while. Being overshadowed by Barbar, Freddie B, Smooth, you pick anyone from that roster, they've been doing well, but we saw what he can bring today to this lineup. And yeah, as said, Cash was a little closer, far more competitive, but at the end of the day, it wasn't... I wanted it a little bit more than that, if I'm honest. I wanted the gun rounds to be competitive. I wanted to see how far we could have maybe seen Endpoint push it, but it is what it is. It's the 2-0 that Epsilon, I can imagine, we're looking for quite desperately at this point. But that's enough from us. Let's hear from the analysis desk to break